The sun is out in Newark, Delaware today. A beautiful March Saturday afternoon at Delaware Stadium as the 18th ranked Delaware Blue Hens play host to reigning CAA champion Towson in our CAA Game of the Week right here on Lax Sports Network. With that, we welcome you alongside the former North Carolina Tar Heel Davey Emila. I'm Travis Eldridge. Davey, this Delaware team comes in, one of the hottest teams in the conference, winners of 5 in a row, taking down a very talented Drexel team last week, really with no problems. Got off to a great start.
Yeah, you're right about that, Travis. Delaware playing really well right now, and it all starts with that attack unit led by Charlie Kitchen. He's big, he's strong, he can score in a lot of different ways. And then you have Ty Kurtz and Mike Robinson really balancing out the wings. Those guys are playing fast, able to shoot and score from anywhere. Looking forward to seeing that unit out here today.
We'll get to more on them in a second, but for Towson, in talking to head coach Sean Nadalin this week, he said, look, if we're going to win this game, we may have to score 15, 16 goals, win this in a track meet. If that's going to be the case, they're going to have to get a lot out of this attack unit. It's been leading the way for the Tigers offense, led by the grad student Brody McLean.
Yeah, you said it, Trav. I'm really curious to see who is going to drive this offense today for Towson. All three of these guys, McLean, Avanzado, Milani, have taken over charge here at different points in the season. They're going to need all three playing together tough today to stay up with this high-scoring Delaware offense.
As for Delaware, you talked about this attack unit at the top. They're averaging more than 16 points per game combined between the three of them. That's third best in the country. They have been special so far this year.
Yeah, they really have. Really able to score in so many different ways. You see the creativity and the influence from the box game that both Kurtz and Robinson are able to bring to the team permeates throughout the rest of the group, as everyone we talked about with Coach DeLuca in practice. Guys are learning. Guys are all playing in unison here with this group being led by Charlie Kitchen.
The guy in goal for Towson that's going to try to stop that potent attack unit is Shane Brennan, the redshirt senior out of Huntington Station, New York. Comes in with a goals against average, just over 12.5. Save percentage, just under 50 so far this season. On the Blue Hens side of things, it's Matt Kilkeary. The senior gets the start once again. He started every game so far this year for the Blue Hens. However, this is really his first year of starting, so every game has been a little bit more experience under Kilkeary's hat here. 9.63 goals against average so far this season. Save percentage up over 55%. So he has been solid in cage for the Blue Hens. They'll look to have another good game today as he and this Delaware team has won 5 in a row, looking to win their 6th straight game, which would be their longest winning streak since 2007. The opening faceoff won by Shane Santora for Towson. It's pushed back, and the Tigers a chance to get their first offensive set here today. This is James Avanzado. We mentioned him in the open, part of this solid attack unit, along with Andrew Milani and Brody McLean. The midfield, the starting midfield, Austin Stewart, Casey Wasserman, and Ryan Swain. This is Stewart on the wing, the junior out of Arlington, Virginia. A little sloppy with the pass as he was trying to find Wasserman at the top of the box, but still plenty of time for the Tigers. His Towson team, losers of 2 in a row after losses to Richmond and Drexel. Did not play last week, as we mentioned in the open. Had some COVID issues within the Hofstra program, which postponed the game between the Tigers and the Pride. That game would be played in a couple of weeks here in April. 16 seconds left of the shot clock for Avanzado working from X. He's got to shovel it back. Now McLean gets the hands free, shot wide. Did not hit anything, including the goalie, so no shot clock reset. 5 left to operate for the Tigers. Avanzado sends it into the middle. Kilkeary able to collect it, and a good defensive stand for the Blue Hens to open things up. He mentioned the attack unit in the open. Here's Robinson. Sends it behind here to Kitchen as Kurtz sets a pick. It's been an attack-dominated offense, and why not when you have these three? Kurtz, Kitchen, and Robinson have been really special so far. However, some of the midfielders showing some experience here. Here's Accioni who buries it. Cam Accioni coming off a career week last weekend. He's got the first goal for the Blue Hens. Talk so much about the attack unit here for Delaware, but it's the midfielder, the freshman out of the Hill Academy, part of a pair of twins, Cam and Matt Accioni, both in the starting midfield for the Blue Hens. And it's Cam who gets on the board first, coming off 3 goals and an assist for a 4-point effort against Drexel in that really dominant win last Saturday, 19-12. Accioni named the CAA Rookie of the Week last week and steps in here and gets off to a good start. Face-off win for the Blue Hens. Quickly downhill, but a nice defensive play to take it away and get possession for the Tigers. It's Garrett Zingalia, the big close defenseman, who looks to start the clear. Just 6 seconds to get it over midfield here. They finally do. Towson trying to answer the early Delaware goal. They got off to a terrific start, Delaware did last week against Drexel. Led 9-1 after the first quarter, never looked back. Opportunity here for the Tigers, and they strike. What a pretty shot and a score by CARSON GAEGER, the senior out of Maryland, and we're knotted up at 1. The second midfield getting a run here early. Tim Montgomery over to Geiger, a pretty move. And he sticks it in that far side corner. Just Geiger's second goal of the season. Did not play last year. Did not play until last year, excuse me. 0 career points coming in, so that's his second career goal for the senior out of Finksburg, Maryland. Played his high school ball at St. Paul's. Chance here for Towson, but it's picked up by Robinson. Unsettled situation. Robinson streaking in, shoots wide. And the backup there for Ty Kurtz. Gotta look out. Everybody, I think, assumed Towson was gonna get that face-off win. But the ball squirted back over to the Delaware side and nearly ended up in a Mike Robinson goal. He doesn't miss many of those, Davey. Here's Accioni driving down the alley. Now Kitchen. So many options for the Blue Hens. Kitchen, now to Mark Beta. Interesting notes about Beta is he's really been an attackman for most of his career, as another one goes for Delaware. Off to a good start, it's Mike Robinson with his first of the day. You mentioned Beta as an attackman because of how good the attack unit has been. He's been moved to that first midfield. Well, he drives, dishes, draws a little bit of attention, and Robinson able to roll on the far side. His 24th goal of the year. Came in ranked 6th in the NCAA, the entire country, with more than 4 goals per game, as Roland Hockenberry wins a face-off. And an opportunity here for the Blue Hens. Hockenberry coming in just 44% at the draw. Delaware using kind of a 3-headed monster at the face-off X. Jay Curvada, the grad student out of the Haverford School in Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. Been a little banged up throughout his career, so the Ben DeLuca and the staff is kind of shaking it up a bit, giving a couple of different guys some looks, and Hockenberry has been a pretty consistent contributor at the X so far for Delaware. The Hens have a man hung up here. It's Kitchen working against the All-American in Kobe Smith. Gets the screen and a save there by Brennan, his first stop of the day. And able to clear it easily. Here's Brandon Hunt, the short stick defensive midfielder. Settle things down. You mentioned it at the top, but Sean Nadeline telling us this week that with everything that Delaware brings offensively, kind of had the feeling that this offense for the Tigers is going to have to put up some numbers. So the question is, can they keep pace here early on? Swain dishes one more, step down shot to score. Andrew Milani with his first of the day. We're knotted up at 2. Another good-looking pass here from the Tigers. It's been a couple of pretty assisted goals so far. Ryan Swain, the midfielder, feeding Milani, who stepped into a nice shot. One more pass, and Milani beats Kilkiri there, top corner. Milani having one heck of a redshirt freshman year. Had a hat trick in each of his last 2 games, scored 3 against both Richmond and Drexel. Now 15 goals on the season. And the faceoff comes all the way back into the Delaware end, but it's scooped up by Reed Kurtz. He is the younger brother of Ty. He feeds another long pole, bounce shot just wide from Kevin McCormick. Tell you what, these poles have some ability offensively. We saw it from Owen Grant last week when he went end-to-end to score his 2nd goal of the year. Highlight reel goal he scored there against Drexel, and Reed Kurtz, who brought that ball up, actually was recruited as an attackman out of Ontario, but because of the crowded attack unit here for Delaware, they needed somebody at the pole position, and they were able to transition him to playing close defense. This is his first year handling a pole. Good spin move, but a stifling defense there for the Tigers. Ball on the carpet, and it's scooped up by Colby Bars. Freshman settling into a starting role here for the Tigers. Bars out of Matthews, North Carolina. Played for Ryan Flanagan's 24/7 lacrosse club team. Flanagan, of course, had a successful professional career, as that one is sent out of bounds by the Tigers. Unforced error there for Towson. Not what we've expected so far out of this one. Both offenses settling in quite nicely, with each with a couple of goals. These 2 programs meeting for the first time since the 2019 CAA semifinals. Game won by Towson on their way to a NCAA tournament berth. Tigers still the reigning CAA champs, with the season being shortened a year ago, despite the fact the Tigers didn't win a game in that shortened 2020 season. Still the reigning champs. Ball sent behind. Kitchen once again working for Max. Got all sorts of cutters there in front, looking for somebody. Accioni, it's off the pipe. Still loose in front, and Kitchen scoops it up. Gonna have a loose ball push on Towson. It'll stay here with the Blue Hens and a fresh 80-second shot clock. This is the other Accioni brother, Matt. Trying to dive the crease there. He sends it behind. One more out to Cam Accioni, already with a goal today. Now Robinson, the lefty from this near side wing, somehow splits 2 all the way through, and it's just kicked wide. That shows you the full complement of what Mike Robinson can do as an offensive player. He split a couple of Towson defenders, took it all the way in, and nearly scored. He had about 3 Tigers around him. Driving hard to the cage, and there's one for Mark Beta. The veteran senior out of Bridgewater, New Jersey, with his 11th goal of the season, and the Blue Hens back on top. Just a solid hard drive to the cage, has the short stick matchup and taking advantage of it. able to beat Travis Maynard. And he goes there to the far side, and he gets to celebrate with his fellow veteran member of the team in Charlie Kitchen. Coach Ben DeLuca is so complimentary of the senior leaders on this team, guys like Beta, Hervada, Kitchen, who have been a part of this program for 4 or 5 years. Nice job there by Hockenberry to track down the ground ball, but he is swarmed by Tigers. Out of bounds, and it'll go to Towson. Nice job by Towson there in the face-off game. They lose the initial face-off, but I mean, when you got 4 black jerseys around you for Hockenberry, just nothing he could do. And it's turned over on the near sideline. Here comes Avanzato. He draws the matchup with Owen Grant. Avanzato ended up on the turf. I think he's looking for a call. I do not see a flag down. Ryan Swain sends it behind. Back up, step down opportunity for Austin Stewart. And the Tigers roar back. We're knotted up at 3. 4th goal of the season for the junior. And once again, good ball movement here for Towson. They get the defense rotating for Delaware. And another step down opportunity. That near side alley has been where I think all 3 goals have come for the Tigers so far today. 3 different goal scorers for each team as Stewart joins Milani and Geiger. Hockenberry wins that face-off, and he scoops it up again. But thrown away just a little out of the reach there of Peter St. Jean. So the Tigers a chance to take a lead here. .5:30 to go in this opening quarter. Different start than Delaware had a week ago when they jumped out to a 9-1 lead on Drexel on the road. Towson been up to the challenge so far. Stewart looking for the skip pass, and it's wide of Ryan Swain, a turnover. For the Tigers, you wondered how they would start this game after not playing last week due to some COVID positive cases for Hofstra. But as there's Delaware, turns it right back over. But in talking with Sean Adelin this week, he said the Tigers really just tried to simulate a game. They played a sort of a exhibition type scrimmage game. They didn't play a full game last Saturday, but did a lot of situational work. Did run about a quarter of ones-on-ones in terms of full field scrimmage. So they did get some opportunities, but certainly a different situation than having had played Hofstra last week. So you wonder if there was any rust. Well, they've come out and looked pretty solid so far. All tied up with the 18th ranked team of the country. Good active stick there by Delaware. It was Tate Wasson, the sophomore out of Pennsylvania, was able to knock it down, but the Tigers keep possession. This is Jake McLean. Montgomery, part of the second midfield unit. Montgomery, Geiger, and McLean already have produced a goal today. Here's Geiger, kicked out by Kilkiri. And Owen Grant trying to scoop up the loose ball. He could not, and it's tracked down by McLean. Missed opportunity for Delaware, and it resets the shot clock to 80. So the Tigers going to take their time. We'll get some changes on. Here's Swain. Draws some help. Throwing back out top to Greg I. Swain, step down shot, and again, same spot for the Tigers, and they've got a lead. They have found something they really like in the defense right there on this near side alley. Great ball movement once again. They send it behind, and Swain, an opportunity. He gets it by the diving defender of Delaware. 4 different goal scorers here for the Tigers, and they've got a 4-3 advantage. Another battle at the face-off X. Tigers had a chance for it there. Big collision. And it's a Towson ground ball win. This is what you expect when these two teams get together. Two teams that have played each other in a series that dates back to 1961. One of the longest running series for both schools. Obviously, very close proximity. Towson a chance to take a 2-goal lead here. This is Casey Wasserman. Swain has had a really good start to the day. Goal and an assist for Ryan Swain out of the midfield. Wasserman trying to get his hands free. He does. Kilcarry keeps it out. Need the ground ball, and Kurtz comes up with it. Push near the sideline, and he's out of bounds again. Blue Hens have had opportunities here now on a couple of straight possessions to get the ball up and out. They just haven't been able to. A little uncharacteristic for this Delaware unit of long poles, who actually have some pretty good stick work. Been a little off here in the last couple of possessions, and the Tigers are taking advantage. Montgomery, full head of steam! Oh, what a shot! Sniping the top corner, Montgomery. It's a 5-3 Towson lead. I mean, this is on the run, left-handed, an absolute snipe from distance. This is going to be a terrific angle. Must be something about these Towson shooters at Delaware Stadium. You, of course, remember the now viral video of what Ryan Drenner did to Syracuse back in the NCAA tournament. Joe Sider did it to Syracuse back in the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. Right here at Delaware Stadium. Well, these Towson shooters look quite at home so far today. They are not missing. And it's pretty impressive what we've seen so far from the Tigers offense, because it's been really heavily weighted towards the attack unit in terms of the production so far this season. And it's been the midfielders today that have provided a lot of the production. 4 of the 5 goals coming from the midfield. How about one more? Milani with his second of the day. The Tigers are on fire. They've scored 4 straight. I mean, another great look. Nice job drawing the slide there by Austin Stewart. He feeds back to Milani. And the redshirt freshman's got a pair in this first quarter, and what a start for the Tigers. A 3-goal lead here on the road. Face-off win now with under a minute to go. An opportunity in front. Looking for a fancy finish there. Good catch, and another score. No, it stayed out. I don't know how that did not go in. It hit something in front. Kilcarry actually knocked the goal off the line there, trying to keep it out. It was a loose ball, and I believe Sean Nadeline is losing it on the sideline. I think Delaware had too many guys on the offensive side. offsides, and here come the Tigers with 20 seconds to go. McLean, step down. He does not miss this one. 5 in a row for Towson. Tigers taking advantage of an unsettled situation. Andrew Milani feeds across. Delaware slow getting back, and Brody McLean with his first of the day, leading the team with 14 goals coming in. That's his first. Now a 21-game point streak for the grad student out of Ontario. And what a dream start for Towson offensively. Big collision here on the near sideline. Out of bounds off of Towson. So with 11 seconds to go in the quarter, one more chance here for Delaware. Trying to grab a little bit of momentum back. They just haven't had the ball offensively for a couple of minutes. Kitchen has it taken away by Colby Smith. And that should do it for this opening 15 minutes. What an offensive explosion by the Tigers here at Delaware Stadium. They've scored 5 in a row, including a pair from Andrew Milani. And the Tigers have a 7-3 lead after 1. They've got a 7-3 lead after 1 here in our CAA Game of the Week on Lax Sports Network. Travis Eldridge back with you. We are working to get our analyst Davey Emela alongside as we start the second quarter here. And the Tigers, I mean, it was a 3-2 game. Delaware, as this game was going back and forth, Delaware had a good start offensively, but then Towson just came roaring back. 5 unanswered goals to finish off that first quarter. And it really has been the Blue Hens just not able to get offensive possessions. The main reason why Towson has been able to go on this run. Roland Hockenberry trying to change that. He wins the faceoff, but taken away again. Ethan Ticehurst here with the ground ball pickup. Gets it over to Kobe Smith. And a chance for the Tigers to go in transition here. Towson has done a really nice job around the face-off X. Even when they lose the initial draw, they've done a really good job just crowding Roland Hockenberry and not letting him get out and win the draw forward and get it to his attack unit. So once again, the Tigers on the attack. It's Avanzado who thought about it, saved by Kilkiri. And Owen Grant scoops up the ground ball. Has a couple of goals on the year, so you got to keep an eye on him. But the Blue Hens desperately need an offensive possession here. A little hidden ball trick, fake flip opportunity there. Owen Grant didn't fool as many people as he hoped, and so he leaves off for Accioni. And we get a look at the starting offense for Delaware. Cam Accioni with a goal today. 3 different goal scorers for Delaware. Accioni, Mark Beda, and Mike Robinson, each with 1. Here's Kitchen working at X. Rolls far side, beats his man. Charlie Kitchen with the body. And it ends the Towson run. "6'4", 215 pounds. He used all of it. The grad student just bodies his way past Regan McNamara. And he just pushes him out of the way. Got about 15 pounds and a couple of inches on Regan, the sophomore, and Kitchen taking him to school on the doorstep. Much needed goal there for Delaware. Despite the fact that they trailed after 1, you know this Delaware offense is not going to be held quiet for long. They just needed opportunities, and Kitchen the guy to go to, the veteran leader, able to get them back on the board. But another face-off win for the Tigers. Currently, the face-off edge is to Delaware, but that really doesn't tell the story of the face-off position so far. Towson has lost face-offs, but ended up with the possession, which is far more important. Here's Geiger down the far side alley. Bounce shot stopped by Kilkeary. So a couple of saves to start the second quarter for the Delaware goalie. And Owen Grant, an opportunity to clear. Offs it into the offensive end. Blue Hens settling down nicely here to start the second quarter at home. Kitchen again working for Max. Jump shot, well wide, not much on that. But Robinson there for the backup for the Blue Hens. This is Mark Beda. Already has a goal, once again working against the short stick. Gets to Robinson, sweeping across the top. Spins through two defenders, it's saved. Oh, Brennan stopped the highlight reel shot. That would have been one for the highlight reel for Mike Robinson if that went in. Here's Accioni as the possession continues, his shot wide. And a crease violation on Delaware will end their possession. Towson gets it over midfield. Looking for their first goal of the second quarter. Stewart with a goal and an assist. Midfield has been a really big part of the contribution so far. Bodied down the alley by Aiden Fritz. Avanzado working against Grant. Hands free. And the shot sent wide. McLean. Little two-man game. He had Milani behind. He never went for it. And then the double team, and they come up with the ground ball. Jason Sider, the takeaway. No numbers for Delaware, so they'll settle things down with Ty Kurtz. We have not said his name much so far. Been held relatively quiet by the Tigers defense. Robinson here from the wing. Justin Scott getting a run in the midfield. Making it behind X. It's part of the second midfield unit, Drew LENKAITIS. Rolls, and he finds the back of the net. Goal number 1 in Drew LENKAITIS' career, the sophomore out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. And he cuts it to a 7-5 game. Nice job here, just rolling back. He uses that left hand, beats Shane Brennan, and one for Drew to remember. Went to Unionville High School there outside of Westchester, Pennsylvania. Had more than 250 career points in high school. This is second point of his Delaware career and his first career goal. Santoro wins the faceoff for Towson. Took a pretty nasty check too. Robinson applying the pressure. Here comes McLean. Brody and Jake McLean, unrelated, remember. Brody McLean, the attackman, the grad student from Canada, while Jake McLean, another grad student, is from California. This is Montgomery. Puts his man on some skates at the top of the box. McLean draws the pole matchup in the midfield. Montgomery now sends it behind. Extra pass, they had that shot again. That's the same spot they had so much success in the first quarter. And just a little sloppy on that pass, but Geiger was going to have another step down shot from that same spot. This is James Avanzato. Gets into the front, and he goes low to high with it. Avanzato's first goal of the day. And the Tigers on the board for the first time in the second quarter. Avanzato had 3 assists in that first quarter, and now he adds a goal to the total. So 4 points here for James Avanzato today. That's goal number 11 on the season for the sophomore out of Lake Grove, New York. Another face-off win for Santora, who has been really solid, especially in the last couple of face-offs, working against Roland Hockenberry for Delaware. Kobe Smith was able to dodge a couple of defenders. Ball's loose. Towson a beat on the ground ball, and they make it. And also happens that they get the ball over midfield in time, so no failure to advance, and another offensive possession for the Tigers, up by 3. Nearing the midway point of the second quarter. It's a 7-3 game after one. Towson with the lead, and after a couple of Delaware goals to start the second quarter, the Tigers starting to settle back in offensively. Nice little two-man game from X, and it's Milani with his 3rd of the day. The first half hat trick for the redshirt freshman. It's a great two-man game with James Avanzato and Andrew Milani. A couple of guys who have redshirt freshmen, sophomore in experience, looking like veteran guys there as they combine for another goal for Towson. 3rd straight game with a hat trick for Andrew Milani. Now up to 17 goals to lead the team. Santora went early there at the face-off X for Towson, so Delaware will take possession. But once again, just stifling defense around midfield, and it's taken away. That time it was Casey Wasserman helping apply the pressure. And that has been the difference at the face-off X. It has actually been relatively even. It is even in terms of face-off wins, 8-8. But Towson has gotten at least 2 or 3 extra face-off wins that they can take away from Delaware, just in terms of taking the possession away. That ball knocked down by the Delaware defense. It was Reed Kurtz, but he couldn't come up with the ground ball. McLean can. And the Tigers will settle things down. Still plenty of time with more than 40 seconds on the possession clock. This is Avanzato, just high. Another good look for the Tigers. Going up high to get it, taken away by Grant. Gotta get the ground ball, they finally do here. Towson moving it forward. Owen Grant came into this game, 15 caused turnovers in just 4 games. He has been a caused turnover machine for the Blue Hens, and he came up with another one there. Kitchen working against Garrett Zingalia there at X. First midfield back on with the Accioni twins. Cam has to run away from the long pole. Gets it back to his brother Matt. He's got the short stick matchup. Top of the box, Robinson. Now over to Kurtz, and it stopped there by Brennan. first real offensive look we've seen from Ty Kurtz, and a low-to-low shot is stopped by the veteran goalie for Towson. Tigers able to get it over midfield in time and settle into another offensive opportunity. Under 5 minutes to go in the half, Tigers enjoying a 4-goal lead here on the road. This is a Towson team that has not scored this, not put up goals in huge numbers so far this year. As Ryan Swain dodges across the top, and it's stopped by Kilkiri. Coming into today, the most goals they'd scored in a game was back on February 24th against Mount St. Mary's when they scored 11. Otherwise, held to just 10 goals in each of their last 2 losses. Good play on the far side by Mosilla, and it's turned over again by Delaware. Towson just winning this game in between the boxes. The midfield has been the key for the Tigers here so far today. Pass lofted over midfield. And the Tigers get another offensive look. Pretty good strategy for Towson. Delaware's potent offense can't score if they don't have the ball. And the Tigers, even when they have given the ball to Delaware, have found ways to get it back. Been really good in the riding game, and as we just mentioned, really good in between the boxes. Avanzato pushed down, and there is our first flag of the day. Owen Grant headed to the box. Going up high there, a little in the back as well. Cross check. 1 minute extra man opportunity coming here for Towson. First extra man of the day. Tigers unit coming in 7 of 18 on the year, 38%. And quickly turned over by the Tigers. Not what they were looking for there. Still 43 seconds on the man up, but Delaware, their goal, but he eat up all of that. This is Jason Sider trying to go with the one-man clear. Trapped there on the sideline. Tough catch in the middle, and once again turned over in the midfield area. Towson has been riding so well today. Sider, though, able to get it back. Nice hustle play by the junior out of New York. McCormick looking to kill off the final seconds of the penalty. As Delaware will take a timeout as time is about to expire on the penalty. Looking to respond here under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Towson up 9-5 on LSN. Delaware looking to respond here as they try to kill off the last couple of seconds of a man-up opportunity for the Tigers. As we mentioned earlier, this is the first meeting between these two since the 2019 CAA semifinals. Delaware, who lost that game, actually has a lot of guys back. Charlie Kitchen in that last meeting, an 18-11 Towson win. Kitchen with 2-2. Ty Kurtz had 3 assists. Brody McLean, really the only contributor for Towson in terms of offense that's back from that 2019 championship winning team. He went on to score 4 goals in the Towson win, an 18-11 win. Tigers went on to take care of Drexel in the CAA title game, and that is why the Tigers are the reigning CAA champs. Last time we had a chance to crown a champion in the conference back in May of 2019. We hope we will get there again this season, but as we have learned, we go one step, one day, and one game at a time during this 2021 spring slate. Blue Hens looking for 1 goal at a time as they try to claw back into this game. Down 9-5, now 2 minutes to go in the first half. That shot sent wide. Be interesting to see what kind of offensive adjustments the Blue Hens make. They've had some success offensively. Maybe I should better say what type of adjustments in the midfield to get this potent offense more possessions. 23 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Working for Max Kurtz, feeds. Nothing there, still 12 seconds to operate. Justin Scott held up, 8 seconds. Kurtz stopped by Brennan. And a crease violation on Kurtz will send this back the other way. It was a decent look for Ty Kurtz there in front, but Brennan stood tall. Another stop for him, up to 6 saves today. Tigers with the 1-man clear. Reese Potter has done a nice job at the short stick position, as Towson now takes the timeout with 1:13 to go. The shot clock at 65. They can't exactly hold for 1, but they can essentially get the last good possession of this first half. We continue to talk about this Delaware attack unit, who has been held to a couple of goals so far today, but when you look at this Delaware team and you compare them with the rest of the country, check this. Of starting attack units across the NCAA, Delaware ranks 3rd. Robinson, Kurtz, and Kitchen averaging just over 16 points per game combined. They're the only teams that they are behind. Hofstra, who we hope we get to see here in the near future. We were supposed to see them last weekend before some COVID issues for the Pride. Ryan Tierney, Justin Linsky, Alex Kincannon averaging 16.25 points per game. And the Terps have just been on a whole nother level, with Bernhardt, Maltz, and Wisnauskas averaging 16.5 points per game. Obviously, that has been helped by the big second halves they've had the last couple of weeks. The Terps, still unbeaten, is one of the best teams in the country. But it gives you some perspective as to what Hofstra and Delaware, these attack units, have been able to do so far this year. In terms of productivity, they are up there amongst some of the top teams in the country. And it's not to say that the offenses are the most productive everywhere, but when you look at the attack units for both Delaware and Hofstra, they have been the units that have gotten their teams going, similar to how we've seen Maryland's attack unit really drive the offense. That's what we're seeing with Delaware and with the Pride. Kurtz, Kitchen, and Robinson, though, need some more here in latter stages of this first half and as we look ahead to the third quarter, because they have been held really a little bit in check by Towson so far. Austin Stewart starts with it on the wing coming out of the timeout. Each team with a couple of goals in this second quarter. Towson having scored 2 in a row after Delaware scored the first 2 in the first couple of minutes of the second. Stewart floats it over to Swain. Under 40 seconds to go in the half. Swain's got the short stick matchup on the run, and it's deflected wide, and nice job by Kurtz to able to get the backup. So the Blue Hens will get a possession here with 30 seconds to go, and one more timeout for head coach Ben DeLuca. We'll step aside here. We'll get you to the final 30 seconds here as Delaware tries to answer back the Tigers with a 4-goal lead. Back for the final 30 seconds of this first half. By the way, a CAA score update for you. Halftime in Amherst, Massachusetts. The 13th ranked Minutemen with a 5-2 lead over Drexel. UMass, Delaware, 2 of 3 teams in the top 20 this week in the Inside Lacrosse media poll. The CAA, Hofstra, the other one, was supposed to be on the road at Syracuse this week. However, that COVID pause still in effect for the Pride program. We hope to see them back in action here next week. But it is a good time for CAA lacrosse. 3 teams in the top 20, including this Delaware team who's been as hot as anybody. Winners of 5 in a row, coming in 5-1, but a slow start as the Tigers have jumped all over them in the first quarter, led 7-3 after 1, and they still have a 4-goal lead here in the final 30 seconds of the half. Delaware, the ball out of the timeout. Gotta get it over. 6 seconds left to get it over midfield. They finally do. Now 13 seconds to go. And we're gonna get another timeout. So with 10 seconds left to go in the half, things gonna get discussed one more time. As the Blue Hens will try to get one more good look at this thing and see if they can cut this to a 3-goal game. How about the game from Towson's offense so far, and most notably Andrew Milani, the redshirt freshman out of Catonsville, Maryland, has been off to a terrific start. He's got 3 goals and an assist, 4 points for Milani. He now has a hat trick in 3 consecutive games. Had 3 goals against Richmond, 3 against Drexel, a first half hat trick here today. And Milani has played the role of hero earlier this season, scored the OT game winner against St. Joe's in the second game of the season, an 8-7 victory for the Tigers back on February 13th. And Milani has just not missed a beat. Slid into the starting attack unit and continues to have a great year. Now 17 goals on the season. That leads the team. Slid into the starting role here at attack after Chop Gallagher, the freshman from Portland, Oregon, actually had the initial starting role, but Chop ended up getting hurt. He actually was injured in practice this week. He's now out for the season. Disappointing for him. Delaware, 10 seconds to go here. Get a good look. Saved by Brennan. Race for the sideline. I don't think it's going to matter either way. 0.4 seconds left. Kobe Smith sends it the length. And that will do it for the first half. The Tigers led by 4 after 1. They lead by 4 after 2. Andrew Milani and Towson roaring on the road. They lead 9-5 at the break. We'll be back for the second half, but for now we send you back inside the LSN Broadcast Center for halftime. Back here for the start of the second half from Delaware Stadium in our CAA Game of the Week. The 18th ranked Blue Hens trailing Towson here at home 9-5 after 2. Let's take a look back at some first half highlights in case you missed anything. Delaware started off strong. They had a 3-2 lead in this game. Mike Robinson with a goal. Mark Beda as well. As they led by 1, we went back and forth early, and then the Tigers offense just caught fire. Red hot shooting, especially from the midfield unit. You had Ryan Swain and Tim Montgomery get going there on the run, and then Andrew Milani really settled in. He had 3 goals in the first half, a first half hat trick for Milani. The redshirt freshman now has a hat trick in 3 consecutive games. Towson closed the first quarter on a 5-goal run. They then closed the half on a 2-goal run as they lead by 4 as we get ready to start the third. And really, as we mentioned the middle of the field has been so key. Towson with 9 caused turnovers in that first half, 13 turnovers in all for Delaware, and that has really been a big difference maker so far. The Tigers have just made life really difficult for Delaware in the middle of the field, so even if the Blue Hens do get a possession, they haven't been getting into this potent offense. Let's see what kind of adjustments Ben DeLuca and this Blue Hen staff make in the locker room as they come out for the second, because if anybody in the entire CAA can score in bunches enough to come back, it is certainly Delaware. 4-goal lead is nothing to worry about for the, it's 4-goal deficit, nothing to worry about for the Blue Hens if this offense can get the ball. It's a Delaware team averaging 16.2 goals per game in this 5-game winning streak. They scored 19 a week ago, held to just 5 in the first half. It just seems like it's not going to hold. And we kind of got that feeling in talking with Sean Nadelin this week from Towson that they probably were going to have to score a good number, maybe 15, 16 goals, some kind of track meet number if they were going to walk away with a win here today. Hockenberry and Santora once again at the face-off X. Hockenberry had a beat on that opening draw, but it's tracked down by the Tigers. Great play there by the short stick Reese Potter. And so the Tigers get the first offensive possession today of this second half. Stewart. And they send it behind to Milani, who has had such a good first half. Good active stick there in front by McCormick, but the Tigers keep possession. 35 left on the shot clock, streaking in, and the Tigers strike first in the third. It's Ryan Swain with his second of the day. Now 3 points for the midfielder out of Calvert Hall. Hey there, Davey. Good to hear you again.
It's been wanting to comment. This has been a great game. Really fast start here for Towson, but I'm glad to finally be here with you, Trav.
Able to clear up some technical issues. Davey Emmel alongside Travis Eldridge with you here in the third quarter. A now 10-5 lead for Towson. It's their largest lead of the day at 5.
Yeah, I really like the way that Towson just came out today overall. They're going after their one-to-one matchups, attacking them with high pace, high energy. They're playing together. The stick work is dialed, paying attention to the small details, and the shot placement has really been superb for the whole team.
Another opportunity offensively for the Tigers. And Milani has it taken away. Another caused turnover by Owen Grant.
Yeah, nice job by Owen Grant there, just getting his stick in front of Milani, not unable to transfer his hands. And I know Owen Grant's someone that really can swing momentum here in Delaware's way as he continues down there in the offensive end.
Grant nearly went end-to-end. He's able to track it down. He gets it to Kitchen. Still a little unsettled as he's got Kobe Smith hung up.
What I really liked from Kitchen here in the first half was when he went after his individual one-on-one matchup, used his size and body to get in front of the cage. Going to need a lot of that from him here in the second half to close this gap.
Kitchen showing patience as he sends out some instructions to his offense. Jump shot kicked away by Brennan. And the rebound tracked down, and Brennan able to grab it in his crease.
Yeah, really nice save there from Brennan as Kitchen just as we were saying on cue, got himself to the island, got his high-quality opportunity. Brennan just beats him to the point there, gives Towson another chance on offense.
So yet another stop here for Towson. Now up to 8 saves for Brennan. Stewart working against the short stick Fritz. This is Wasserman, who feeds down on the doorstep to McLean. Back out top, Milani ricocheted, and Kilkiri able to snare it out of the air. That was kind of a tricky shot for Matt Kilkiri to track, but the goalie did well, able to track it and grab it before it went over his cage.
And that's important for Kilkiri as he settles in here to the second half. As we know, Towson came off in that first quarter really hot. A lot of their early shots were going, so important for your goalies to reset in the second half. Kilkiri get a save under his belt and take that momentum into the second half here.
Let's see what the Blue Hens offense has cooking here. This is Robinson. He's been quiet since that goal in the first quarter. Give a lot of credit to this Tigers defense. Kitchen bodies his way, shot sent high. Fun matchup watching him going up against the All-American Kobe Smith.
Yeah, those are two really great competitors here, and I think, you know, for Delaware to really get in the flow of their offense, they're so good at attacking from those wings there with Kurtz and Robinson. I look to them to get a little bit more of that action here, along with Kitchen attacking from X.
This is Beta. Accioni driving down the alley. It's sent wide. Scooped up by Beta. Robinson stepping down off the pipe. Chance for Towson to go in transition. McNamara to Avanzado. His shot's deflected. And Ty Kurtz, who had come all the way back on defense, now sends it ahead. Kitchen!
Nice play.
End-to-end action! And the Blue Hens having their first goal of the third. It's 10-6.
Yeah, really nice job there by Kurtz. Just pure effort, checking back over the line on defense, being able to pick up this ground ball, and then just being opportunistic. He sees his line mate, Charlie Kitchen, low there, open in front of the cage, and able to put a pass on a rope there right to Kitchen. Really nice job there. Really nice hustle play by Kurtz, checking back in on D.
So the Blue Hens finally get one back here, but the face-off win by Towson, looking to go quickly. Avanzado sends it wide.
Tell you, Towson is not hesitating. They are letting it fly from anywhere at any time.
I was just about to say, Davey, that's almost a little surprising, because this is a Tigers offense that I think in years past we're used to seeing in a situation you're up 4 or 5 goals, even in the third quarter, they pull that back out, but no patience there. They were going right for it. And a good run out there for the Blue Hens to get a possession. Floated ahead. Nice job by Fritz. Maybe want to try out for the Delaware football team, who's playing a spring football season with that kind of over-the-head grab down the sideline. Here's LENKAITIS. Back to Justin Scott. Second line midfield in there for Delaware. Robinson gets the hand free. A low to high rip. Robinson second. And Delaware's back within 3. Just what the doctor ordered for the Blue Hens here in the last couple of minutes. They get the goal from Charlie Kitchen in transition, and then Mike Robinson doing what he does best. Gets that left hand free, and he drops the hands down and goes up high on Brennan.
See that box fake to get a little bit of separation. We've seen that hold up at X here a couple times now. They've been kitchen before, but now Robinson taking advantage of just that little space he gets from his defender, and then anytime he has his hands free, he's a danger to score. Drops his hands low to high there. Nice job by Robinson.
Face-off violation on the Tigers, so another opportunity for Delaware. Mark Beta settles things down. Davey, back to what we've seen from Towson in terms of going offensively. How much of them not slowing things down is the Delaware offense and Sean Nadelin knowing how much they can score in bunches?
Yeah, I think it has to have a lot to do with that, Travis. And, you know, Coach Nadelin, he talked to us about his wanting to play an aggressive style this past week, and you're seeing that. He clearly was working on a mindset for this team to come into this game with of just not hesitating, getting those shots off, playing fast, and it's working out for him so far here today.
That is a tough jump shot by Kitchen. It's sent wide. Kobe Smith, when he's been on Kitchen, has done a nice job on it.
He has, Trevor. And I was just going to say, as you mentioned, this defense playing well, besides that goal right there from Beta.
Until then, Beta with his second. And Davey, he's a guy that a veteran leader would play primarily attack early on in his career and jumped to the midfield this year because it was where they needed him. And in this first midfield unit has provided some really good senior leadership.
Yeah, he has. I think he is a really important piece to this offense. And I think this team as a whole, as you mentioned, his leadership is really apparent every time that we see this team play. I think he's just a really cerebral player, just much like his brother. Both of them were able to play attack midi seamlessly, always dodging hard with their eyes up and looking to help out the other teammates. So I think Beta gets almost overlooked and is underrated for his importance and value here to this offense.
Brennan comes out of the cage. He lost it. How about the behind-the-back feed from Kobe Smith? That was really nifty in order to get the Tigers out of trouble because they were in a world of hurt with the pressure bearing down on them from the Blueheads.
You're right about that. That's coaches have nightmares about those situations. Goalies out of the net, balls loose in front of your cage. Worked out that time, luckily there for Towson.
Austin Stewart trying to get into the middle. Nice job defensively here by Fritz. Left-handed shot on the run. Kilcarry with another save.
That was a really nice save by Kilcarry there. That shot placement was right off that offside stick hip, and he was able to get there really nice and smooth to make that save.
Another difficult play for Delaware around midfield, but they make it.
We're seeing all sorts of behind the backs here, Travis.
Man, and Beta able to settle things down. Back to Mark Beta. David, you mentioned his brother Scott, of course, played at Rutgers, a really good player for the Scarlet Knights, now a coach at Lafayette. And Beta himself, Mark, the reigning CAA Player of the Week after 6 points, a career high with 6 points against Drexel last weekend.
Yeah, he really has a nice presence out there. I think every time that we mention Delaware's getting to their offensive zone and getting settled, it's Beta with the ball and the stick. I think he has all the trust of his teammates and is really taking hold of that leadership role.
Garrett Singalia just picked Robinson's pocket. Man, the stick work from some of the defensive players, whether it's been Grant or Kurtz for Delaware, and then you look at Singalia and Smith, has been really impressive.
Yeah, it has. And I think a lot of that too, Travis, as we've seen, is just getting a couple games under your belt. You know, early in the season, you're excited to play. It's been a different kind of a year, and you see a lot more of those mistakes. Now teams are getting into the flow of things and really sharpening up all the little details, including that fundamental stick work.
This is Jake McLean. Bodies down the alley. Now sends it behind to Brody McLean. Trying to go near side. Kilkiri hugged that pipe, but taken away right back by the Tigers in the ride.
Yeah, nice job by Towson. They're creating an additional opportunity for themselves. These are situations where the defense is a little winded. They've been playing for a little bit. Towson has some fresh middies here, ready to go.
Under 5 minutes to go in the quarter. To Zavanzato. Pass pass bounces to McLean, but able to track it down. Still plenty of time as they got a reset of the shot clock on that change of possession for a second.
This is going to be really critical 4.5 minutes here of the game, just how the teams are going to set themselves up heading into the fourth quarter. Is Towson able to extend this lead a little bit and put that pressure on Delaware, or is Delaware able to close the gap here and get things tied up?
Oh, great no-look pass. Does it count? Milani diving across, and no, they say he's in the crease.
Wow.
That was a beautiful feed from McLean to Milani, but he stepped in just before he got that shot off.
Yeah, that's a tough, tight call to make there, Trav. They must have an angle that we can't see. It's all something maybe different.
That was really close. I'm guessing, if we get another look at that, I'm guessing that's like toes on the crease. But it could be a big swing here if the Blue Hens can cash in at the other end.
You're right about that, Trav. Keep it in mind here. That could have been a potential 3-goal lead. Now Delaware a chance to get within 1.
Here's Scott, the grad transfer from Hobart. Gets it to Robinson. Splits a couple of defenders again. Take it away.
We've seen that a couple times now from Robinson. He really likes to just duck his stick inside there and try to split those defenders to get his hands free. Turnover here, going to go ahead and get Towson on the offensive end.
Yeah, you have to think that some of that was Towson watching film of Robinson and watching him do that to defenses over and over again. Oh, big collision. Ooh. Kitchen laying the lumber.
We mentioned using his size and strength.
Oh, it's taken right back. What a chance for redemption for Reese Potter.
Another flurry of important plays there.
Man. Great action in the midfield. Swain down the alley, stopped by Kilkiri.
Kilkiri is seeing the ball well here in the second half.
Yeah, much better than some of those shots were going in the first half. He's settled in here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I think especially some of the midfielders on the run, from 15 yards, he wants a couple of those back. He's doing a great job now, staying with it and staying in front of those and just tracking the ball into his stick.
So Beta, once again, will settle things down. First midfield back on for the Blue Hens. The Accioni twins along with Beta. Excuse me, they'll keep Scott on here, Justin Scott. Swings it back over to Matt Accioni, looking for his first goal today. Now Kitchen. This has been the play we've seen over and over again.
Yeah, it has, and I think...
Stops.
Save there. I think that's part of Towson's defensive strategy, Travis, is allowing that to happen. They'd rather sit back and make Kitchen decide what he's doing instead of being able to feed his dynamic wing players there in Kurtz and Robinson.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to give credit to the strategy because it seems to have worked so far. Delaware's offense has just been a little off. Look out
I
here.
agree with you. The pace has just been a little bit slower. And that's, again, we see sort of when they do get in that hold standoff situation, everything does come to a stop and you're just looking to feed, the feet stop moving. I like when they're, slinging the ball, moving fast, sweeping across the top, playing with high energy.
Got a whistle that pauses things here. There's a loose ball push that kept possession for Delaware. Officials discussing things. Got an injury. Did not see who it was. It's Beta. Taking a shot when he was trying to roll here on the near side. Hopefully he's okay, walking off under his own power. As we've been mentioning, an important part. He's been a big part of this Blue Hens offense, especially the last couple of weeks, now up to 12 goals on the year. Get another look. And
yeah, he really has, and I think, yeah, he just got a check there or stepped incorrectly that can be pretty painful, but you're right about it, Travis. He's an incredibly important part to this offense, and they're going to need him both for his skills, but also that leadership and organization that he brings to the table.
Towson dropping back into his zone again. They've done a good job mixing up the defenses against Delaware so far. Exactly what you'd expect from a Sean Nadalin coach team. Accioni trying to track it down. A minute to go here in the third. Kitchen does. And he goes
Nice
behind
play.
the back to Accioni. Numbers if they want it. Scott, Robinson. That thing went soaring out of bounds.
That's an example, though, Travis, there of just sort of a little bit of how the Delaware offense is just off, as we're seeing. Just a couple passes being dropped. You know, you take your eye off it for a second, then got to go track down the ball. Just things like that can be deflating and keep you from really picking up the momentum like you would like to.
15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Nearing 30 seconds to go in the quarter. In some trouble again, and this defense has just been swarming.
They really have, Travis. And we talk about the sort of attitude that we're seeing the offense of just peppering with shots, being relentless, playing with high energy. This whole team came in with that mindset. We're seeing the same thing from the defense. They are quick to double. They're swarming the ball. They're getting their sticks on hands. And it's been impressive to see this afternoon.
McLean, I don't think, realized how much time was left to go in the quarter, so it stays a 2-goal game after 3. Got an upset alert here at Delaware Stadium. The 18th ranked Blue Hens down by 2 entering the 4th. Mark Bita and company trying to bring him back. Start of the 4th quarter here on Lax Sports Network. Towson with a 2-goal lead, looking to knock off the 18th ranked team in the country. However, this goal was wiped off late in the 3rd quarter. Davey, it was ruled a crease violation here on, it was Avanzato. I don't know, that's pretty close. It looked like it may have been out of his stick.
That's really close. Out of his stick, he also had some really nice footwork there to elevate and avoid getting into the crease. So keep an eye on that play. That could be a big factor here as we get towards the end of this 4th quarter.
He may have landed in that restricted area that you cannot land in front. Tough to see with all the different lines you have on a football field and the lacrosse lines, but you may have landed in that restricted area that was new last year in front of the goal mouth for a goalie, and so that wiped off a goal. Would have been a 3-goal lead coming in here to the 4th quarter as tempers flaring. Mo Silla and Owen Grant, well, pleasantries exchanged.
Yeah, Owen Grant just came out to start this quarter hot.
Kitchen misses. Is there a backup? And they'll give it to Robinson. That was almost empty possession there for Delaware.
Yeah, I like the urgency, though, there. Kitchen just going right at his matchup and getting an early shot off now. As long as they have the backup, now they can get into their offense and run through their systems. Can't tell if that's Bita there, back out there. Yeah, it looks to be okay.
Yeah, so good to see him. He had to get helped off the field at the end of that 3rd quarter, but he's back in there, looks to be okay. Ty Kurtz steps into one, and he just hasn't gotten going today.
No, he hasn't. You said it, Travis. I know he wants that shot back. Did a nice job of using that defender as a screen and this shooting around him, but just didn't bring it back enough to get that on cage. Sharpshooter like that, wants those opportunities back. They don't come around too often.
Everybody getting a touch against this zone defense for Towson. Bita swings it to the wing, and there's one. Robinson, he's got a hat trick.
You see how similar these two guys are on the wings. We just saw a shot from Kurtz that went wide. Robinson gets his opportunity, and it's really that same shooting motion of these guys have the ability to drop their hands and just change and elevate the ball on the goalie. Really tough to track. That's about 8 yards in. Robinson's got a cannon from there, also along to go with his accuracy. Really nice job there, and really nice start that Delaware was looking for here for this quarter.
And this is what the Tigers have been daring the Blue Hens to do. Beat us from the outside. This zone has been pretty effective in getting into passing lanes, throwing off this Blue Hens offense enough. But now, one-goal game, we'll see what happens. Jake Curvada, by the way, in there for the face-off for Delaware. They win it. And Kurtz to settle things down. A chance for the Blue Hens to tie this game up.
Yeah, no, that's something Coach DeLuca will be happy to see, a face-off win. You know, talking to him this week, he said, we welcome the 50-50 ground balls. We want to get out there and scrap, so the closer and more that they can do that, they're going to get some back-to-back possessions and see if they can tie this thing up and then eventually potentially take a lead.
Delaware with a 4-goal run. This game has not been tied since early on in the first when we were knotted up at 3 apiece. Accioni just hounded. And it's turned over, goes over midfield.
Nice job by Towson D there to force that.
Here comes Avanzato, unsettled, jump shot sent way high. And oh, there's no backup for the Tigers. Nice job by Kevin McCormick to track down things and get possession back for the Blue Hens. That's big.
Yeah, that is, because that's a high quality opportunity there from Towson, and they're lucky to get away with that shot being missed, and ultimately with that backup. Be interesting to see what Delaware goes to here in order to attempt to tie this game here.
This is Accioni from the wing. Now Kurtz. Another stop by Brennan. They've had Ty Kurtz's numbers so far. Kurtz has been held to no goals and 1 assist in 3+ quarters.
Yeah, I think some of it there, Travis, is not changing planes or changing levels as much as we've seen in the past. I know we just commented on Robinson. That's exactly what he does. Kurtz, sometimes when he's dropping his hands and dropping the stick head, he's going low to low, and that just allows the goalie to match sticks a little bit easier there and stay on top of it.
Tigers have not scored since very early on in this second half. Looking at a quarter-plus goal drought. And this has been their issue throughout the season. They string and goals. Can they hold on here against the 18th ranked team in the country?
I think it's important to go back to with what works. We had a really nice 2-man game. There we go.
There it is. Avanzato, his second of the day. He's pumped.
He is pumped, and just as I was saying, you know, important for the Tigers to stick with what has worked. And we saw Avanzato and Milani have a really nice 2-man game that led to a goal from Milani. This time we have Avanzato starting with the ball, gets a nice little screen to create that separation, and then gets to the middle of the field for a high-quality shot there. Really nice job, and again, would like to see Towson continue to hit on these 2-man games because it seems to get that separation and generate scoring opportunities.
Avanzato is having himself one heck of a day. Now 2 goals to go along with 4 assists, 6 points to lead all scorers.
He did that rather quietly too.
Yeah.
those 4 assists. That's a quiet 6 points.
And there was a flag down, or the dead ball flag, and so no need for a face-off. Tiger on the man up. Huge opportunity here for Towson, now up by 2.
Yeah, really big opportunity to push this to 3.
Joe Spears called for a cross-check. 1-minute penalty. Step-down shot deflected.
Great effort, though, here.
That was McCormick trying to get a backup. Still time to operate here on the extra man for the Tigers. Swain.
Inside.
Avanzato, the bounce shot picked up by Kilkiri. Long pass by Owen Grant up ahead to McCormick.
That won't show up in the stats there, that pass from Owen Grant, but that's really impressive.
Yeah,
to put that ball on a dime there.
Crossfield all the way up to midfield. That was a long
In stride.
pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are able to kill off the penalty. So we're back to even strength. And Charlie Kitchen to operate behind. He's got the matchup with Kobe Smith. Kitchen just missed.
He's so big and strong, it's really hard to deter him from getting that shot whenever Kitchen wants. You just got to stay in his hands and hope that he pushes it wide or high, just like there. Kobe Smith's doing a great job, but in terms of him getting to his spot, it's really tough to deter that.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe Smith is not a small dude. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds, and I mean, you look at Kitchen and he towers over him.
He does, and then when he decides to put his shoulder down, it's a load and really tough to stop.
Beta just stopped by Brennan. I think it hit the post as well.
Nice play there. Beta took a shot off that attempt as well.
That was a good little two-man game he and Kitchen played, and they got a good look. Beta just couldn't find his sliver in. Tigers will get their offensive midfielders on. Under 9 minutes to go. Towson with a 2-goal lead.
As you mentioned, Travis, they've had some trouble this season with the lead and allowing teams to come back in. This is a great opportunity to continue to put foot on the gas here offensively. You don't want to just kill time and take time off the clock. You want to be generating quality scoring opportunities, keeping that pressure on so the momentum doesn't swing the other way.
This is Geiger's got a goal. He sends it back out top to McLean. Jake McLean now sends it behind, wide open. It's Brody McLean. Terrific feed from Avanzato, a 3-goal lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, and I said Avanzato had a quiet 6 points, but that was loud there. That was a really elite feed and a nice job by McLean just to find that soft spot in the defense. Realizes that his defender's head is turned, looking upfield, just slips behind him, and is able to get that high-quality goal on net and push Towson's lead here now to 3. Really tough to claw back from this in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left.
So Brody McLean with his second of the day. He's now up to 16 goals of the year. With 8 minutes to go, Jake Curvana back at the face-off X for Delaware. The grad student, a veteran captain on this team, and a violation on Towson gives it to Delaware. Every possession becomes that much more important here for the Blue Hens.
It does, Travis, and we'll see what Delaware goes to here. I have to imagine Robinson and Kitchen will be involved.
This is Drew LENKAITIS. Scored his first career goal earlier today. Kitchen now. Kurtz. Now Robinson on the wing. Yeah, he did. Different looking midfield in here for Delaware, just trying some different things. Kitchen got a good look. The race for it is won by Towson. Great job by Ticehurst.
It's another example there of Kitchen showing you he can go to his right or left there to try to get to that island 5x5 above the cage. Just puts it a bit wide there. Heads up play by Towson to run that ball out and regain possession.
Talked a lot about transfers there in Ticehurst to transfer from Division II St. Leo. He's come in and as a long stick midfielder had a bunch of nice contributions so far here for the Tigers. Nearing 10 ground balls, 3 caused turnovers coming into today. Good box player as well. Minto Cup champion with the Coquitlam Adnax back in 2018.
We have a couple pretty outstanding box players on this field, I think.
Yes, we do. Canadians all over the place.
That's right.
Avanzato beats Grant, and nice job by Grant to take it away. Might have saved a goal. Milani in all sorts of trouble, and I think the Tigers got a timeout. That's a heads-up timeout by Sean Nadelin.
Yeah, really nice job there by Coach Nettleton. Give a chance to draw up here and try to extend this lead.
So the Tigers looking to add to a 3-goal lead. 6:03 to go here in the fourth on LSN. Welcome back. In honor of Lax Sports Network's 5th anniversary, we're giving away this custom blacked out LSN helmet right now on our Twitter account. You can enter to win the matte black Cascade helmet by following us and retweeting the giveaway tweet. Just find us at Lax Sports Net on Twitter. The tweet that you need to know about in order to win this helmet is pinned to the top of the profile. So find us at Lax Sports Net on Twitter. Meanwhile, here at Delaware Stadium, the Tigers trying to knock off a top 20 Blue Hens team. Delaware has been as good as anybody in the conference here in the last 5 games. Winners of 5 in a row, averaging more than 16 goals per game in those 5 wins. But right now, it's Towson with the ball and a 3-goal lead here in the fourth quarter with about 6 minutes to go. Travis Eldridge, Davey Emela with you here in our CAA Game of the Week. Coming out of the timeout, it's McLean with 5 seconds left to shoot. Gets his hands free, but Kilkiri able to make the save.
You know, that stat, Travis, just makes me really think Towson defensively deserves a lot of credit with holding this Delaware team to 9 goals thus far.
And that does not look good. Aiden Frintz got knocked over as he was trying to cross the midfield line.
Cramping, it looks like.
Yeah, his team's trying to help him work out a cramp. Brody McLean applying the pressure.
I know the feeling there, Travis, and it's not a good one.
Oh, man. Fritz not applying a lot of pressure on that left leg that looks to be possibly cramping up as he gets some help off with his fellow short stick defensive midfielder.
So that did draw a flag here, so it'll be interesting to see what Delaware draws up here to try to get take advantage of this man-up opportunity and get within 2.
This is a big opportunity for Delaware with 5:45 to go. 32nd man up here for the Blue Hens.
Yeah, and we saw him against Fairfield. They have Kitchen stopped in that top middle shooter spot. He may rotate out of there and get in more of a wing for a shot, but we'll see what movement they draw up here.
Got Robinson and Kurtz here on the wings. This is Robinson back up to Kitchen. 10 seconds to go on the man up. Stepping into one is Accioni, and it goes in. It just got by Brennan.
Accioni was almost surprised with how open he was just off that simple ball movement. Finds himself close to GLE, but hands free with a decent enough angle and able just to squeak that ball by Brennan. I think Brennan gets a piece of it, but it ends up getting past the line. And that's going to be +1 here for Delaware, and now within 2.
Yeah, Brennan made the initial save. It looked like Accioni was trying to go far side. Brennan made the stop, but it got pushed up in the air and then went over his head and into the goal. Good break for Delaware as the Tigers' lead is now cut to 2.
Yeah, nice play there by Accioni. Another one of those attack midi hybrids, and he can really carry the ball and change direction, showing you some range on a shot there as well.
Ground ball, big one here in the middle of the field. Still
this is what Coach Lucas says they like.
Still push forward. McCormick had a beat on it. It's up in the air. No one knew where it was, and it's out of bounds off of Delaware.
If I'm Towson now, I really want to focus on successfully clearing this ball, getting it to the offensive end, and then offensively want to get everybody involved, continuing to run our offense, trying to generate scoring opportunities, but maybe not taking the first available shot. I know we've been talking about how aggressive Towson has been all day long. This is a time to really be pick and choose those high-quality opportunities, taking some time off the clock, still applying pressure, and seeing if you can extend this lead here on Delaware.
Yeah, this is the time when you eat clock. Now under 4.5 to go. Stewart Gets the hand free on a roll, deflected off a helmet. Milani able to track it down all the way up to the 45-yard line.
I take it back, Travis. Towson is not going to stop with their aggressiveness. They are going to the cage and letting it fly.
Hey, if you get a good look there, you know that, I mean, you have to know that even with under 4 minutes to go, Delaware probably has a couple more goals in them. You got to keep scoring if you have an opportunity. Swain's shot is wide as the backup is there for Stewart. 10 seconds left to shoot. Stewart deflected in front, and the ground ball picked up by Reed Kurtz. He gets it to his brother Ty, and Ty will settle things down with now 3:30 to go.
Yeah, nice hustle there by Towson. That could have been a transition opportunity there, but two of those Towson midfielders got back deep in the hole and were able to check back for Delaware now has to settle things down and set up their O.
Blue Hens trail by 2. This game has not been tied since it was knotted up at 3 apiece early in the first quarter. Accioni dodges, sends it back out top to Robinson. Now Kurtz. He's been held scoreless today. Robinson, right hand.
His left hand is so dangerous, and you got to worry about that sweep so much that it almost leaves that whole righty alley open for that.
We saw it actually earlier this week. Another dominant left-hander in Ethan Walker at Denver went right-handed for a goal. Accioni, the freshman with a hat trick, and he pulls the Blue Hens back within 1.
Really nice play there from Accioni. We were just talking about his shooting ability. Now, this is on the run here, sweeping across the top of the key. That is really impressive there for a freshman being able to do that, and also really nice ball placement there, low and away, just outside of Brennan's range. As you see here, just a nice little jab step underneath, boom, gets above top side, and then is able to let this go off stick side. Really nice play there by the freshman.
So the freshman Cam Accioni, who had 3 goals and an assist last week for a career best 4 points against Drexel, coming up big here in the fourth quarter with a couple of goals. And he's got his Blue Hens team back within 1 with under 3 minutes to go. Loose ball again off the face-off. Silla has it taken away, completely detwigged. Here comes Owen Grant. Long ball chance. The bounce shot is wide. Big race for the ground ball. Somebody, I think it was Towson, who put it back into play. And it comes back to the Blue Hens. And so Delaware keeps possession and a chance to tie.
Wow. And last possession on that goal by Accioni, that's where Delaware's at their best. When they're running the 2-man games from the wings, they're able to sweep and get to the middle of the field. Look to see that happen again here as we see Bida now setting things up. Looks like he wants to get into a 2-man game with Kurtz there on that righty wing.
Bida has liked this short stick matchup today. Gets in, knocked over, and it's Brennan out of the cage. But turns right back over. Kurtz had an empty net there for a second, but just nothing doing. Good pressure applied by the Tigers to prevent Delaware from doing anything there.
That's going to be something we look back on in the film here from next week, is that turnover, giving Delaware another opportunity here.
Hidden ball trick faked out our camera guy, but not the Towson defense. Here's Matt Accioni. Gets it back to Kitchen. Just over a minute to go. Kitchen rolls back and he ties it. And a flag down. The grad student, Charlie Kitchen, knots things up at 12 apiece.
In these moments, you gotta rely on your leaders and guys that have been there and done it before. Kitchen is certainly that for Delaware. I like bringing this pick here. I guess that's from Bida again. We've seen that sort of hold-up situation all day long. This time they bring a pick and allow Kitchen just to get to his right hand, strong hand, but still uses his sides and then a really nice inside roll. Takes a hit coming across the top. That was a high hit at that as well. Teammates helping him back up. Really nice big-time play there from Kitchen.
So that is huge because you get Charlie Kitchen with the goal as he takes the high hit from Mo Silla. Minute 5 to go. We are knotted up now at 12 apiece. First time that this game has been scored since we were tied up at 3 apiece with about 5 minutes to go in the quarter. And the cross check on Silla, a minute extra man. So Delaware is going to go on the man up face-off here. And if they get possession, they can hold for 1 to try to win this game. Hervada wins it over there to Robinson, who is playing a face-off wing. Kid can do it all. And now an extra man opportunity here for the Blue Hens. And they will take a timeout to talk things over with 53 seconds to go. This was a 2-goal deficit just a couple of minutes ago, but the Blue Hens have turned everything around here in the last 3 minutes of this game. 3 unanswered goals, with them down 12-9 with about 5 minutes to go. As we go back to the beginning of this half, it was 2 straight goals as Kitchen went on the unsettled, and then Robinson. Towson was able to battle back. They scored the first 2 goals of this, or the second 2 goals of this fourth quarter. But then Delaware
but things, how you end these quarters and those little plays that make the difference, right? We saw a turnover in their own end that allowed Delaware to have this extra possession, and then we have the penalty at the end. Close out these fourth quarters, ultimately dictate the result of the game in win-loss scenarios.
And we have this man-up opportunity because of what just happened here. Charlie Kitchen working for Max. Delaware down by 1. Not only does he score, but you see the big hit he takes up high from Mosilla. I mean, you talk about Charlie Kitchen's toughness. I mean, You need nothing else other than this video to show him. He has his stick come flying out of his hands as he scores.
And you're expecting that, as an attackman, you're trained to know that when you do go turn your head for that inside roll, defenders are trained to then hard slide across the crease. That was a very hard slide there, but Kitchen able to get that shot off before it comes, and now has his team in a really good position.
By the way, Charlie Kitchen continuing to climb the Delaware all-time goal list, now up to 129, moving into 4th place all time. But I think he'd be happy with just the fact that he tied things up, and he and his team, despite being down by 3 with 6 minutes to go in this game, have now tied it up and have a chance to win it with under a minute to go and a man-up opportunity. Kurtz, Accioni, Kitchen, the other Accioni, and Robinson, all in there here for Delaware.
This is what you talk about as a man-up unit. Our best 6 guys, if we need a goal, this is the group to go get it done.
25 seconds to go in the game. Kurtz.
There's Kitchen in that shooting spot.
10 seconds left on the man-up, 13 to go in the game. Kitchen to Robinson. Still no shots of the man-up. The man-up has been released. Robinson steps down just high of the bar. Less than a second to go here in the game. They're gonna put the ball in Kurtz's stick, and I mean, he's gotta say a prayer if this thing's gonna go in. Deflected in front, and we have overtime at Delaware Stadium. The Blue Hens scoring 3 unanswered goals to tie things up at 12. Towson standing tall with an extra man with a minute to go. So we're knotted up at 12 after regulation. Free lacrosse coming up next on LSN. Getting ready for the start of overtime here on Lax Sports Network. Travis Eldridge and Davey Emila back with you for our CAA game of the week. Towson and Delaware all knotted up at 12 apiece. We got here by Delaware's 3-goal run. First, it was Cam Accioni, first stopped by Shane Brennan, but it deflects in, and then Accioni again, the freshman out of the Hill Academy, with back-to-back goals, and then Davey, Charlie Kitchen taking things into his own hands.
Yeah, just showing you his size, his skill, and his toughness there, just soaking a hit up high on him after that goal, putting his team in a tied situation. In those big moments, you rely on your big-time experienced players, and Kitchen certainly cashed in there for Delaware.
Blue Hens trying to keep their winning streak alive. Winners of 5 in a row coming in. This is their first overtime game of the season. Towson 1-0 in overtime this year. They, of course, beat St. Joe's back in the second game of the season, 8-7 in OT. Andrew Milani, the game winner in that one. As always, a big face-off here to start overtime. It's Santora versus Hervada. Hervada probably the fresher of the two. He really only saw action in the latter stages of this game. He wins it forward. Hervada trying to win it. He sends it wide. Nothing like a quick opportunity. Charlie Kitchen settles things down here for Delaware. First offensive opportunity of the extra session.
And we'll see what Delaware gets into. I know we were talking a lot about these two-man games here with Beta and Kurtz, at least to start us to get the hands free.
This is Accioni. Cam has had a terrific game, a hat trick today for the second consecutive week. Got the short stick matchup.
That sweet move.
Yeah, here comes Accioni. Takes his time, still plenty of time on the shot clock for Delaware. Accioni moves it along. Now Robinson sweeping around the top, trying to find Kurtz, a little high. Kitchen tracks it down with 20 on the shot clock. Let's see if Kurtz and Kitchen play a two-man game.
Kurtz working on a short stick here.
Kurtz wins it! His first goal of the game. Ty was quiet all day long, and he helps complete the comeback for Delaware. Make it 6 in a row for the Blue Hens.
Big time play there from Kurtz, just taking on a short stick and able to get that goal. Huge win, program win for Delaware here. Didn't have their A game at all times today, but found a way to win, fought through it, and came through in overtime. They're going to look at this film and really be proud of themselves as an overall team here, I think, next week.
From down by 3, Ty Kurtz had done very little today. It did not look like he had his best stuff. But when it mattered most, ball in his stick, and he wins it.
That's right. There's only one stat, and that's the most important one. One goal, one win. Nice job by Kurtz there.
First OT win of the season for Delaware as they get to 6-1. They have now won 6 in a row. Davey, when you look at this game as a whole, Towson really showed how you can slow down this Delaware team. They made it really difficult for the Blue Hens in the midfield. They made it tough. The Tigers did just about everything that they could do except for finish, and that has been their problem the last couple of weeks.
You're right, Travis. That's exactly right. You know, Towson came out. I love the energy that they played with, the pace and the tempo, both on the offensive and defensive end. They have a lot of things to really be proud of and build off of. But like you said, just the 2 mistakes really there in the fourth quarter that were critical, a turnover in their own end that allowed Delaware to have an additional opportunity, and then the penalty that puts them on a man up. Those are the plays in the fourth quarter that ultimately dictate the game. And then on Delaware's side, they're going to really use this to build on their season, right? Didn't get down on themselves. Things weren't going exactly the way that they planned throughout the day, but clawed and fought their way back. They relied on a true freshman with 2 big goals in the fourth quarter, and ultimately Kurtz coming through for the win. So big time program win here for Delaware. They got a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, Cam Accioni, 2 of those 3 goals to help tie the game up, and then Ty Kurtz, the game winner. Delaware celebrating their 6th straight win, now 6-1 on the year and 3-0 in conference play. But that's going to do it for us here from Delaware Stadium. Once again, our final score, Delaware 13, Towson 12 in overtime. Thank you for watching the CAA Game of the Week here on Lax Sports Network. For Davey Emla, our producer Dylan Hand, and our entire crew, I'm Travis Eldridge saying so long from Newark. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.